Good morning, students. I was discussing the biology syllabus of PUC first year. I will continue that. So yesterday I discussed unit 1. In that botany chapters, the living world. Then second, the biological classification, and the third one is plant kingdom. Moving on to the unit 2. Unit 2 is structural organization in plants and animals. So in this we have mainly 2 botany chapters. Okay, so living world, biological classification, plant kingdom, 3 chapters. Here fourth botany chapter, chapter 4. That is morphology of flowering plants. From morphology of flowering plants, we get mainly 4 marks. So here, 2 1-mark question and 1 2-mark question. Total 4 marks from this chapter, morphology of flowering plant. This chapter includes various concepts. It is actually a big chapter. So here, first we have introductory part. After that, we have to learn the various parts of a typical dicot plant, a typical dicotyledonous plant. So in introductory part, we learn about the plant parts. Okay, then each part we have to learn the root, the stem, the leaf. Then we have inflorescence, then flower. Okay, in that parts of flower, various parts of the flower are there: calyx, corolla, calyx, corolla. Then we have androecium, gynoecium, accessory oral calyx, corolla, reproductive oral, male reproductive oral androecium, female reproductive oral gynoecium. So these are all the various parts of the flower. Okay, calyx, corolla. In this we learn about what we call estivation. Then we learn about placentation, estivation, placentation. So after flower we have fruit, then seed. As per the latest syllabus after the deletion released from the CBSE, so they have CBSE board has minimized the syllabus. Okay, as I mentioned yesterday, 30% syllabus has been reduced. Root, stem, leaf, these have been deleted. These concepts have been deleted. Then fruit, seed concept has been deleted. Fruit, seed concept is been removed. So here, then we have semi-technical description of a flowering plant. Semi-technical description of a flowering plant. Then we have to learn families. We have to learn families. Two dicot families and one monocot family is there. First one, Fabaceae P family. Second one, Solanaceae, brinjal or tomato family, chili family. These two are dicot family. Fabaceae, Solanaceae, dicot family. Then we have Liliaceae, onion family, garlic family. Okay, so three families. This family Fabaceae is removed. Only two families we have to learn, Solanaceae and Liliaceae. So the concepts which we have to learn in this chapter, okay, inflorescence, flower, okay, all this, then Solanaceae, then Liliaceae. So these are the concepts which we will learn in morphology of flowering plants. Root, stem, leaf, root, seed, and family, Fabaceae. These concepts have been removed. The next chapter number 5, that is anatomy of flowering plants. Next chapter, anatomy of flowering plants. From this chapter, 4-mark questions will come. One mark question, and one 3-mark question. One 3-mark question. So 4 marks will get. So as per the updated syllabus, this chapter, that is anatomy of flowering plant, has been deleted from the syllabus. Different concepts I will mention, but this chapter has been removed. Which different concepts we will learn here? We learn about plant tissues here. Okay, so meristematic tissue, then permanent tissue, meristematic tissue, permanent tissue. You know, in permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, complex permanent tissue, that is xylem and phloem. These things we are going to learn. Then tissue system. In tissue system, epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system, vascular tissue system. These are the concepts present in this chapter. Then next important concept what we learn here, anatomy of root, stem and leaf. Anatomy of root, stem and leaf. Here we learn about TS of dicot, TS of monocot, TS of dicot root, monocot root, dicot stem, monocot stem, dicot leaf, monocot leaf. So total six internal structures we will learn. Then the last concept which we have here, secondary growth in dipod stem. Secondary growth in dipod root. So these are the concepts which are present in this chapter, but this complete chapter has been deleted, okay, this year from the botany part. So this is chapter number 5, anatomy of flowering plants. Moving on to the next chapter, chapter number 6, which we will cover in botany, that is the cell, the unit of life. Chapter number 6, cell, the unit of life. Okay, it is coming under unit 3. Cell structure and functions. Unit 3, cell structure and functions. So cell, the unit of life, a big chapter. It is going to cover 8 marks in theory exam. Here, one mark question, one 2-mark question, one 5-mark question we will get from this chapter. Very important chapter, big chapter. What are the various concepts that we learn in this the cell unit of life, which is the chapter coming under unit 3, cell structure and functions. Here 3 chapters are there. That is biomolecule, cell cycle and cell division. That will be covered in zoology part. I am going to teach the botany part. Here, the concepts which we will learn here. What is a cell? The cell. Then cell theory. Cell theory. An overview of cell. An overview of cell. Then we learn about structure of prokaryotic cell. That is bacterial cell. Prokaryotic cell. We will learn about bacterial cell. Then structure of eukaryotic cell. Here we learn higher animal cell and plant cell ultrastructure we are going to learn. Very important concepts. Then after learning the cell structure, plant cell, animal cell, now we have to learn the individual components or parts of the cell. So here, cell membrane, plasma lemma, cell membrane. The next concept, cell wall, which is basically present in plant cell. After learning cell wall, we have to learn about endomembrane system. In the endomembrane system, we have endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosome, vacuole. So we are learning cell organelles now. Cell membrane, cell wall, then the individual cell organelles which are present in the cytoplasm of the cell. Endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosome, vacuole. These functions are coordinated. They have some similar components. So they are included in endomembrane system. After this, we have to learn about powerhouse of the cell, mitochondria. Then plastids, mainly structure of chloroplast. Chloroplast we have to learn. Photosynthetic apparatus, kitchen house of the cell. Then we have to learn about ribosome, protein factory of the cell. Then the mechanical support will be provided to the cytoplasm of the cell. Cytoskeleton, where we have microtubules, microfilament, intermediate filaments. So cytoskeleton structure. Then next we learn about cilia and flagella, locomotor structures. Cilia and flagella. Next concept, centrosome, centriole, centriole. This is the next concept. Then after this, master cell organelle, the structure of the nucleus we will learn. In the nucleus, we are going to learn not only the outer structure of the nucleus, briefly we will learn about chromosome structure, units of heredity, vehicles of heredity. Then the last part which we learn, microbodies, single membrane bound small structures. Okay, microbodies includes peroxisome, glyoxysomes. These microbodies we will learn. So these are all various concepts coming under the chapter, the cell, the unit of life. So 6 chapters over, 5 more chapters are there. That comes in total plant physiology. Unit 5 total zoology unit it is, human physiology, 7th chapter, all zoology topics. Unit 4, we have plant physiology. I said 27 marks from this unit, big unit, chapter number 7. We have transport in plants. Very big chapter. This chapter has been deleted from the syllabus for this academic year. Transport in plants. It is going to cover 6 marks. Here, one 1-mark question and one 5-mark question will be there. Total 6 marks. So this chapter is deleted from the syllabus. This chapter had various concepts. Which are the concepts? Just I will mention that. Means of transport. Different means of transport are there. Diffusion, facilitated diffusion, active transport. Then we have concept plant-water relation. In plant-water relation, we will learn osmosis, plasmolysis, imbibition. We learn some terminologies: osmotic pressure, turgor pressure, wall pressure. Osmotic pressure, turgor pressure, wall pressure. Important concept. Water potential. We will learn about water potential. Then long distance transport of water. Next concept is long distance transport of water. In that, how do plants absorb water? How the plants absorb water? So how the water moves from root hair to the xylem of the root? We have apoplast pathway, symplast pathway, like that. Then upward movement of water, that is ascent of sap. The next concept, transpiration. Next, uptake and translocation of mineral elements. Uptake and translocation of mineral elements are solutes ions, what we call solute ions, inorganic ions, nutrients, uptake and translocation of mineral elements. First, uptake, how these mineral ions are absorbed, passive absorption, active absorption is there, translocation of these solutes. Then the last concept, phloem transport. Phloem transport, flow from source to sink. Flow from source to sink. Here we learn about Munch hypothesis, mass flow hypothesis, pressure flow hypothesis, or Munch hypothesis, what we call. These are all the various concepts that are included in chapter, that is transport in plant. This whole chapter is deleted. Then moving on to the next chapter now, chapter number 8. It is mineral nutrition. Mineral nutrition. Comparatively smaller chapter. This chapter covers 6 marks. One 1-mark question and one 5-mark question from this chapter. This mineral nutrition chapter also removed from the syllabus, has been deleted from the syllabus. Various concepts are there in this what we call chapter. This includes various important concepts. First concept, method to study mineral requirement. We learn about technique, hydroponics, essential elements, criteria for essentiality, role of macro and micronutrients in plants, deficiency of mineral element. What symptoms it is going to cause? Deficiency of mineral element, what symptoms it is going to cause? Toxicity of micronutrient. Then uptake and transport of the elements, mineral elements which are there, uptake of mineral elements or mineral ions, either by passive method or by active method. Okay, then transport of mineral ions in plants. Okay, soil as a reservoir of essential nutrients or nutrient elements. Then we learn metabolism of nitrogen in this. Nitrogen cycle, we will learn nitrogen cycle. Complete different steps are there. Nitrogen cycle. Concept like biological nitrogen fixation. Biological nitrogen fixation. Then important concept like nodule formation. Last concept, fate of ammonia. These are all the concepts that are included in this chapter, mineral nutrition. This chapter has been deleted. So the concepts, the chapters which are removed from the syllabus as per CBSE at present, deleted concepts of chapters we will not teach. What chapters are included, these chapters we will teach. The next we have chapter number 9. It's a very important chapter. Photosynthesis in higher plants. From this chapter, 5-mark question will come. So here, 1 5-mark question from this chapter. Various concepts we are going to learn in this chapter. Photosynthesis in higher plants. Introduction. What do we know? Some experiments with respect to what you call photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. Then light is essential for photosynthesis. Chlorophyll is essential for photosynthesis. So what do we know about this? Then the historical background. What research work has been done in photosynthesis since more than 100 years. Okay. So early experiments, the various research works which have been conducted in the field of photosynthesis, some selective scientists, their contribution towards the field of photosynthesis, what research experiment or work they conducted, that is early experiments. Then where does photosynthesis occur? Photosynthesis occurs in chloroplast. Chloroplast is photosynthetic apparatus. So we learn briefly about chloroplast structure. Then what are the different type of pigments involved in photosynthesis? How many pigments are involved in photosynthesis? Okay, so these various pigments we are going to learn. It can be chlorophylls, it can be carotene, it can be xanthophyll, whatever it is. So how many pigments are involved in photosynthesis, photosynthetic pigments. We learn about photosynthetic pigments. Then we learn about the mechanism of photosynthesis. So mechanism, it involves two main reactions or phases. Light reactions, photochemical reactions. Okay, in detail we will learn about light reactions. So here we learn about the light reactions include excitation of chlorophyll molecule, photolysis of water, then electron transport, that is photophosphorylation. In photophosphorylation, we have cyclic photophosphorylation, non-cyclic photophosphorylation, then how ATP is synthesized, that is chemiosmotic hypothesis. So at the end of these light reactions, the energy currency ATP and the strong reducing power reduced form nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. ATP and NADPH2 are produced. Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. So these are the products. Oxygen is liberated as byproduct. Okay. So after the light reactions, there will be dark reactions. Second set of the reactions in photosynthesis mechanism. So in dark reaction, there will be carbon dioxide fixation using these products. These are called as assimilatory powers. So these are used for the carbon dioxide fixation steps. So in this we have mainly Kelvin cycle, C3 pathway. Then we have C4 pathway, C3 pathway, C3 cycle, C4 cycle. Okay. Then the next concept which we learn. So this is about dark reaction, carbon dioxide fixation steps. Next concept, photorespiration. The next concept is photorespiration. Then the last part of this chapter, factors affecting photosynthesis. Factors affecting photosynthesis. Here, law of limiting factor we will learn. Law of limiting factor. Which are the factors which affect photosynthesis? It can be light, it can be carbon dioxide, temperature, water. These are all external factors which affect photosynthesis. We learn law of limiting factor in this concept, right? So these are all various concepts which are present in photosynthesis in higher plant that we are going to learn in the future. Chapter number 10, Respiration in plants. This chapter also. 5-mark question will come from this chapter. 1 5-mark question. So in this chapter, various concepts are there. Introduction. What is respiration? What are the types? Aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration, respiratory substrate. These things we will learn. Do plants breathe? Do plants breathe? Then we learn about glycolysis, one of the step in respiration, common to both aerobic and anaerobic. Then we learn about aerobic respiration. Steps mainly here. Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle or tricarboxylic acid cycle, whatever you call. Then electron transport system, ETS. Then it is accompanied by, electron transport system is accompanied by oxidative phosphorylation. These are the various steps mainly in aerobic respiration. After glycolysis, one more concept we will learn, that is fermentation. After glycolysis, fermentation, alcoholic fermentation, lactic acid fermentation. In aerobic respiration, these concepts we will learn. Then we learn about energy balance sheet, respiratory energy balance sheet. How many ATP are produced, that we will learn. Respiration is called amphibiolic pathway. Respiration is called amphibiolic pathway. Last concept. Respiratory quotient. Respiratory quotient. So these are various concepts which we learn in respiration topic. 1 5-mark question guarantee from this chapter. Okay, very important chapter. Try to remember. Then moving on to the last chapter in botany part. Okay, that is chapter number 11, plant growth and development. Plant growth and development. This chapter also five mark from this chapter. Here 1 2 mark, 1 3 mark question will come from this chapter, plant growth and development. So various concepts are there. Some of the concepts have been deleted. Growth. What do you mean by growth? Plant growth is indeterminate growth is measurable in different parameters. Phases of growth. Phases of growth. Growth rate. Growth rate. Here in this arithmetic growth rate, geometric growth rate we have. Conditions for growth. Conditions for growth. Other concepts like differentiation, differentiation, redifferentiation, then development, various stages of development. These are the various concepts which are there in the beginning of this chapter. These concepts are deleted. Growth, plant growth is indeterminate, growth is measurable, phases of growth, growth rate, conditions for growth, differentiation, de-differentiation, redifferentiation, development. These concepts have been deleted from this chapter. So we have mainly plant growth regulators, PGRs, plant growth regulators, plant hormones. This part is there for syllabus that we learn. So here, 3 plant growth promoters are there. Plant growth promoters, stimulatory effect they have. Auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins. These are growth promoters, usually what we say. Growth inhibitors, we have ethylene, abscisic acid, ABA, ethylene abscisic acid. So these 5 hormones, their discovery, their physiological role, we are going to learn. This is very important concept which we have. So this part is there in this chapter which we will learn. So this part has been deleted. Little more concept that has been deleted. That concept is mainly photoperiodism, vernalization, seed dormancy. These 3 concepts are also deleted from this chapter. Photoperiodism, vernalization, seed dormancy, removed from this chapter. So we will learn mainly, this part only, plant growth regulator. Okay, so this chapter has been highly condensed now after the removal of major concepts in this chapter, right? So these are all 11 botany chapters and their mark distribution as per the blueprint that I have discussed. Okay, zoology teacher will introduce the zoology topic and the concepts which we will learn, right? So now I will tell about question paper pattern, theory question paper pattern. Theory question paper if you take, this question paper total the marks 105 marks. The total marks weighted 105 marks. But we have to write exam, theory exam for 70 marks. Choice question, additional choice questions also we can write. So exam 70 marks exam theory. As I mentioned yesterday, 70 marks theory exam. Practical 30 marks I told yesterday, right? So we have to write the exam for 70 marks. Question paper will be total mark weighted 105 marks. That is because the choice questions will be there. So theory question paper for 70 marks. For 70 marks. So it had different parts. What different parts are there? First, part A. In part A, we have 10 questions. All are compulsory. All are compulsory, no choice. 10 questions. These are all 1 mark question. 1 mark question. So 10 into 1 mark, 10 mark. 10 into 1 mark, 10 mark. Part A, 1 mark, 10 questions. Then part B, we have total 8 questions of 2 mark. 8 questions of 2 mark. We have to write any 5. Write any 5. Remember, choice 3 extra there. 8 2 mark questions will be asked. We have to write any 5. So 5 into 2 mark, that is 10 mark. If you take all 8 here, it will be 16 mark. And here all 10 means here 10 mark. How we get 105 mark that I am writing this side. Okay, exam paper 70 marks, these marks we have to count. Then next we have part C. Here 8 questions of 3 mark. 8 questions of 3 mark. How many we have to write? Write any 5. Here we have to write any 5. So any 5 means 5 into 3 mark. It will be 15 mark. Total 8 are there. 8 into 3 means it will be 24 marks. Total 8 will be up, but we have to write any 5. Then part D, section 1. In part D, 2 sections are there. Section 1. Here, 6 questions. 6 questions of 5 mark. 5 marks. Okay, 3 marks, 5 marks. Okay, 6 questions. We have to write any 4. Any 4 we have to write. So any 4 means 4 into 5 mark. 4 into 5 mark, it is 20 marks. How many will be asked? 6. 6 into 5, 30 marks. Okay. Then we have section 2. We have section 2. In section 2, 5 questions will be there. 5 questions. In section 2, 5 questions of 5 mark. 5 questions of 5 mark. So how many we have to write here? Write any 3. We have to write any 3. So any 3 means 3 into 5 mark is equal to 15 mark. Total it 10, 10, 20, 15, 35, 55, 60, 70. So we have tried exam for 70 marks. Question paper will be of total 105 marks because of choice questions. So here in section 2, part D, section 2, 5 questions are there. So 5 into 5, 25. We will add all this. 16, 10, 26, 30, 50, 80 plus 25, 105. 105 marks. So this is 70 marks theory question paper pattern. Remember, 70 marks theory question paper pattern. So try to remember. Whenever we will have 70 marks exam, annual exam, okay, in this pattern will be there. Part A, 1 mark, 10 question, all compulsory. Part B, 8 questions will be there. We have to write any 5, 2 mark. Okay. Part C, 8 3-mark question will be there. Any 5 we have to write. And part D, section 1, 6 questions will be there of 5 mark, but we have to write any 4. And section 2, 5-mark question will be there. We have to write any 3. So this is about theory question paper pattern. Now practical exam. Practical, you know, it is 30 marks. So in practical, first question, okay, first question it is 5 marks. First question, question number 1, practical question paper I am telling. Practical will be for 30 marks. That include both botany and zoology question. Question number 1, it is 5 mark. Usually it is botany question. Choice will be there. Choice will be there. Okay. Some of the practicals also have been deleted. We will come to know later on. No need to tell now, right? So usually it is botany question. Usually 3 questions will be there. Any one you can perform. You have to perform in the practical exam. This is 5 mark. And another one, taxonomy. This is also botany. Taxonomy part, families I don't know. Solanaceae, Liliaceae, that family related. That is identifying the plant, writing its scientific name, and assigning to that particular family, or we have to write floral formula, floral diagram. So here also choice will be there. 2 will be there. Any one we have to write. Here 3 will be there. Any one we have to write. Okay. So it is taxonomy related. So it is 5 marks. It is also 5 marks. Then the third one, that is a biochemical test will be there. Biochemical test. Okay, usually that sugar test, protein test we will do. Okay, it is for 3 marks. 3 marks. Fourth, this comes in zoology part. This is zoology question. These 2 are botany question. Then once again botany question. We will have physiology setup. Physiology setup, we have to identify what is that physiology setup. We have to write principle about that. This is also 3 marks. Okay. So question number 1, 5 mark, 2, 5 mark, 3 biochemical test, 3 mark, 4 physiology setup, botany, physiology setup, 3 mark. Then here slide or specimen will be there. either slide or specimen. Usually botany slide or botany specimen will be there. This is 2 mark. Then here zoology slide or specimen will be there. Zoology slide or specimen will be there. This is also for 2 marks. Zoology slide we have to identify. We have to give 2 reasons for that. Okay. Then next Viva was. Viva was that is 4 mark. Viva questions. What practically what in exam. Based on that, they will ask questions to you. Individually, they will ask. They will call the student and they will ask minimum 4 questions. That is Viva was. Then the last one, record book. Record book means we have to write botany journal separate, zoology journal separate. Separately, we have to write botany and zoology journals. This is 6 marks. Journal 6 marks. Okay, 3 mark for botany journal, 3 mark for zoology journal. 6 plus 4, 10, 12, 14, 17, 20, 25, 30. This is practical exam question paper pattern, 30 marks. Okay, so here how many particulars are there? 8 particulars. In theory, 10 in part A, 8 in part B, 8 in part C, 6 in part D section 1 and 5 in part D section 2. So total questions will be 18, 26, 32, 37 questions will be there in theory part. Total 37 questions. Okay, so here all the 10 we have to attempt compulsory. Here 5, here 5, here 4, here 3. So total questions were how many we have to write? 15, 20, 24, 3, 27. 27 questions we have to write. Okay, if time is sufficient, we can attempt additional questions also. So this is about the question paper pattern. Practical question paper pattern and theory question paper pattern. So I told if you want to take admission to MBBS, medicals, dental, PDS, homeopathy, all that, we have to write NEET. We have to write NEET, National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test. Yesterday I told. So this NEET exam is of 720 marks. NEET exam is of 720 marks. Physics 45 questions. Chemistry, physics 45 questions. Chemistry 45 questions. Botany 45 questions. Zoology 45 questions. The total number of questions 180. 180. Every correct answer 4 mark. So 180 into 4, it is 720. 720 marks. Remember, okay. In NEET, National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test, we have 4 subjects. Biology bifurcated here. Botany, zoology separate. Remember, that's why biology weightage is more in NEET exam. Biology weightage is more. If you want to get the medical seat, we have to do well in biology. Of course, we have to do well in physics, chemistry also, but weightage is more. So here, biology 90 questions. Botany 45, zoology 90 questions into 4. So biology 360 marks, half score out of 720, 360 will be for biology. That remember. And in NEET, for wrong answer, -1 will be deducted. Negative marking will be there, -1. Okay, so this is NEET. So this is about NEET pattern, right? So tomorrow I will tell about the reference books. Just briefly, I will tell theory reference book and NEET reference book. Which book we have to refer other than the NCERT book. Then I will start with Living World chapter. First chapter, Living World. Tomorrow I am going to start.